to license it.
Meep, meep.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a 1 to 74 scale Lincoln Continental from the Matchbox Series No. 31. What a luxury car this was back in the day. Suicide doors, you remember those? And there's a trunk on this that's bigger than my first apartment. Check it out. And on the top and the hood is a decal for genuine parts. So somebody used a Lincoln Continental to deliver for the auto parts store. Business must have been fantastic. There's a special note that you need to be aware of on the Lincoln Continental, on the Matchbox model. This back rivet is not a full post, and we have to open it up to separate the body and the chassis, but it's not a full depth one, and you'll see what I mean when we take this apart on the bench. Flat screwdriver and a little bit of pressure pops these out. Alright. Plastic suspension, 2-bench interior, cream color. I think I'm going to leave it in the original color. And this window has got a rivet also. So when you're taking these out, you've got to go real slow. You don't want to drill through the roof. Just get rid of the pressure. And once again, a flat screwdriver between the roof and the window. Careful, Andrew. Okay. One piece. Pretty clean too. Alright, you'll see that where the trunk is, and when my thumb is on that back rivet, it's important to know right here, because usually I drill out a full post and I'm going to put it in the back, but just take away enough metal so that at the reassembly stage I can put a drop of epoxy in there, and it'll stick those two parts together. But the front is a full depth post, so I'm going right down to the yellow tape line, and that'll get tapped and take the regular M2 screw. And you can see the test fit is good. I put everything in one container because I usually brush off my workbench, and more than once, there goes a windshield or a screw or a suspension piece, and never to be found again. I'll have to clean this up one day. Wheels and axles came off before the paint stripping, so they don't get damaged. Only the metal parts go into the paint stripping gel. And I'll just leave this trunk on today. It's a nice metal base. I prefer them to the plastic ones, of course, for quality. And while the paint stripper is doing its job, I'll take the very few interior pieces and give them a brush up. I think my model is from 1969, based on a little bit of research and the color and the style of wheels. So that's got about 51 years worth of dirt on there. Well worth the time to clean that up. Okay, we're starting with a pretty good windshield today. but nevertheless put a little bit of detail and time into it with successively finer grits of wet dry sandpaper. This takes any scratches or abrasions or just fogginess out of the windshield, and we're going to try to make that brand new looking. The finest grit that I have is 3000. That's just a piece of paper, really. All right, crystal clear. But I'm not finished yet. I put a little bit of polish on the end of a Q-tip, and I spread that around, and then I flip the Q-tip to the dry end and give it a fast rub, and you'll hear the squeaking sound, and you know it's doing the job that you want it to do. Into the floor polish, and I'll wick off the edges and the corners from any excess. And while that dries, I'll pop a plastic cup over top of it so nothing lands on that perfectly restored windshield. You can tell by the bubbled up paint on the surface that the stripper has done its job. And the decals and that original paint, I didn't care for that color. Maybe that was popular back in the day. Well, now it's off. And they came back from the laundry room wash tub with a bristle brush job looking like this, kind of dull. A little bit of paint left in the casting detail lines. So as part of the process, I get out the tools, brass brush and a wire brush and some fine steel wool, and I go to work on these. I don't mind the time spent or the effort at this point in the restoration, because the more careful you are here, the better the end result and the happier the makeover artist. If you're enjoying watching this as much as I'm enjoying doing the project and editing the video for you, why not give it a thumbs up? And if you're not already a subscriber to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers, hit that little bell in the bottom right corner of your screen. And if you want to know about regularly updated content, then smash that notification bell as well. And these days, well, it's about every 2 days I'm able to put up a restoration video. Here in Switzerland, where I live, we've got a couple of more weeks of lockdown, so I expect I will be able to continue to be prolific in the makeovers. I've got lots of cars in my startup junk box from the second-hand store. By the way, that's where they all go back to. I don't collect these or display them, and I don't sell my cars. When they're all finished, I put them in bags of 3, and they go back to the second-hand store where they came from, and they're given out by the owner as gifts for children for free. This is light gray primer paint right out of the rattle can from the building supplies store. And if you want to hide a few imperfections, you lay it on a little bit thicker, but this casting is pretty true, so I don't need to do that on this occasion. I'm finishing the base in basic black. Although I think it was chrome or silver in its original state. And I have chosen a new paint for the body, and it's called Hammerschlag Blau. Hammer Strike Blue. Not quite a metallic fleck, but it's first cousins to a metallic fleck, and I really like how this is turning out. Originally, I had decided on a metallic brown, which I have, but another makeover channel just did the same model a week ago. in metallic bronze. I thought I better change it up. And I ended up swapping out the wheels for a set that I think looks much more period correct. I actually have rubber treads on these and a spoke rim. I like them a lot. And I think that'll set it off as one of the little differences in this makeover. No trouble putting these parts back together, and if you recall, only the front post was drilled out and tapped, and so this reassembly takes one screw in the front, and although I drilled a little bit of metal away in the back, it's just going to take a spot of that cement super glue. And here it is. So chromed up in the front, and a license plate, and new wheels. I think that sets off this car. Taillights in a translucent red. Black base. Oh yeah. Hammerschlag Blau. I like that. Not sure if that was part of the original Continental color palette, but it looks good on this makeover. Here's what we started with this morning. Remember? Looks like it was buried nose first in the dirt pile. Yes, please. I learned a few new things on this makeover, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you for visiting my channel, and come back often. It's coffee time.